A Black Executive Perspective.
Look, man, they didn't get a chance to play chess. They had to play checkers.
Let's talk about it, T.
Openly and honestly. There was a lot of smart kids there.
A Black Executive Perspective.
Now, my story's not unique. There's thousands of professionals of color who have experiences like mine.
A Black Executive Perspective.
Whether you're aware of it or not, it's a topic that is often avoided.
We'll discuss race and how it plays a factor, and how we didn't even talk about this topic because we were afraid.
A Black Executive Perspective. There are 227 million gamers in the U.S. However, only a small percentage of gamers are women, and an even smaller fraction are women of color. In this episode, Black female influencers in the gaming space doing it with 5GRV. We will meet the women of 5GRV, Gamers on the Road, and comedian GloZelle, who are taking the gaming space by storm. We'll hear how Black female influencers are changing the game and their impact on driving inclusivity.
Welcome to a Black Executive Perspective podcast, a safe space where we discuss all matters related to race, especially race in corporate America. I'm your host, TonyTidbit, and today is a very exciting day. Today we're going to chat with the award-winning cast of 5GRV, Gamers on the Road franchise, created and produced by Alpha Precision Media. Today, you're going to be able to learn about these fabulous women who are breaking stereotypes, who are making paradigm shifts, and more importantly, who's helping diversity in the gaming industry. So we have 4 fierce female Black influencers taking the gaming industry by storm by creating relevant stories that's promoting sisterhood, the gaming culture, Black excellence, and like I said, driving inclusivity in the gaming industry. So I'm excited. I know my producer here, Double A. You excited, Double A?
I'm very excited.
Be very excited, right? So let's jump into it and let's meet the class. So first, we have GloZelle Green, who's also known by the YouTube OG. Some background on GloZelle. GloZelle pursued her career in acting and comedy by moving to Los Angeles after attending 600 consecutive tapings of The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, which is insane, okay? And also blog interviewing with audience members at the show. She started her YouTube channel called Vine Stardom, as well as her acting career. She is well known for the work on the movie Trolls and has been the favorite wacky social media auntie for almost a decade. Welcome, GloZelle.
Hello, this is GloZelle. Is you okay? Is you good? I wanted to know. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, AA and TT and BB and GG.
We're happy you're here as well, GloZelle. Natasha Walsh, a.k.a. Barefoot Tasha, who's also known as the laugh heard around the world. Tasha is born to Jamaican immigrants and raised in Miami. She has been gaming with her family since grade school. Beyond gaming, Tasha has always had a passion for cooking. Although her culinary journey was cut short, she holds cooking still near to her dear heart. Prior to the pandemic, she was a waitress at a high-end restaurant, and gaming is now her bread and butter. Natasha, welcome to a Black Executive Perspective.
What's up, everybody? I hope everybody's shoes is off because we all at home in our own comfort. So, your shoes should be off. The toes should be out.
Thanks for joining. And guess what? My shoes are off. All right. So I'm good. So Alicia Jackson, a.k.a. Leish Capric, who's also known as the ringleader. So I want to find what all these things mean, right? Alicia began gaming since the age of 5. Her first introduction to games was Street Fighter II with her brother. Before streaming, she was a bartender for 10 years, and when the pandemic hit. She was laid off, and then she had to get creative. So we definitely want to learn more about what happened there. She found streaming, and her success began in 2020. She's a mom of a beautiful 13-year-old daughter and lives really close to her parents. Alicia Leish Capric, welcome to a Black Executive Perspective podcast.
Hi, everybody. I hope everybody's doing good. I will be serving drinks after this. Tell me what your favorite drink is. I got you, but it's an honor to be here, and I'm just ready to have fun.
Awesome. Welcome. And Kyla Cook, aka Defined by Kai, and her moniker, The Intellect. Kai was born in Brooklyn and has settled in Austin, Texas. Her love of gaming started when she used to watch her older cousin play video games all the time. When she's not gaming, she works for a company called Rooster Teeth as an on-camera talent for the Achievement Hunter division. She has strong ties to HBCUs as both her sister and brother currently attend. She currently holds a bachelor in TV, video, and film from Hofstra University, a master in media design from Full Sail, and is part of the Greek life as Sigma Gamma. And is this Sigma Gamma Roy or Sigma Gamma Rhino? I want to make sure I say it right.
Sorry, I took that a little personal. I shouldn't have. Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated.
There we go. All right. Kai, welcome to a Black Executive Perspective podcast.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. It's so awesome to be here with my sisters in crime and just talking about nerdy things. I love it here.
Well, look, we're glad all of you guys are here. You guys have did some major accomplishments what we're going to dive into. But before we get into the heavy stuff and hear your stories and what's been going on and the success you've had, like I said, when I started this in terms of your bios, I want to learn a little bit more about the AKA part, right? So GloZelle, they call you the YouTube OG. Why is that?
They call me the OG because I am an OG when it comes to the internet. I was one of the first people to ever be on YouTube. So that is why, when the beginning, when people didn't even know what the internet was, YouTube, blogs, blogging, that's where I was.
Wow, I didn't even. So can I throw a year in here? Can I ask a year, a date? When was this?
This was the early 2000s.
Okay.
Yes, so I have plenty of videos that's not even on YouTube because YouTube hadn't started yet. So yeah, we're talking 2000, you know.
Wow.
Yes,
so that makes total sense. All right. Tasha, why are you known as the laugh around the world?
I have an uncontrollable giggle that no matter what I do, you're gonna hear it. I think at this point is what I'm most known for whenever I game with friends or anything of the sort. I definitely always get that comment where people say, I love Tasha's laugh, the giggle, the this, the that, always about my laugh. So it was something.
Can we get the giggle?
I didn't even do that on
purpose. Buddy, I love it. She can laugh on call.
Right on cue.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Okay. Well,
yeah,
go ahead.
That's probably why. I'm always laughing. I'm always trying to make others laugh as well. So I'll take the title.
Okay. You know what? That's a great title to have, right? People like people who can laugh and be funny and happy. So love it. Keep it up. Keep doing it. All right, Kai. Why the intellect?
I think I'm called the intellect just because, I mean, you just listed off, I got 2 degrees. I'm always going to talk about the fact that I have 2 degrees when I say something stupid because I'm wrong I'm wrong 15% of the time. I'm correct 85% of the time. I try to explain a lot of things that don't need explanations, but it's the only way to make me feel better about some stuff. So we're gonna explain things with intelligence and lack of, honestly, both.
I love it. I learned this a long time ago. Common sense is not common. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I hope the intellect agrees with that. Okay. Especially when she's right 85% and only wrong 15. All right.
Yeah.
She's keeping track of that percentage. I don't know how many people do that, but you know what? You definitely fit the name. So welcome. That is awesome. And Leish, not at least. So I just made that up. I hope that's okay. All right. Why the ringleader?
I honestly don't know. I looked at the sheet and I was like, why y'all calling me the ringleader? But I guess it's because that I'm able to rally everybody together. I'm the one that everybody could come to and like talk to. And, I'm real, like out of all of them, I'm probably the calmest one. And that says a lot because I'm not that calm IRL. So you see what we working with, right?
That's pretty accurate.
That was a lot.
That's pretty accurate.
Because I am the calmest one out of the 3, out of all 4 of us. Oh yeah, it's me. But IRL, like people know me for my chaos, but my chaos is the calmest one out of everybody. So I'm grounded. I bring everybody together. I'm like the safe.
The cornerstone, basically, right? The foundation,
I'm the
right?
glue.
You the
Roll the clip
glue
to
that
prove
makes it happen. Well, listen, thank you guys for sharing. I can see you guys have been just a ball of fun. You've been working together for years. As we get ready to jump into and just how did this start, you guys come from all over the country. You came together, you put together a great program. But let's just share with the audience in terms of success that you guys have had, once you launch 5GRV, Gamers on the Road. The season 1, you guys were first in branded live stream reality content on Twitch, right? You won 5 awards: best content marketing platform, best video series, best video live streaming, best new platform, best multicultural community engagement. I mean, the list goes on and on. And then after season 1, the celebrity and the achievements didn't stop. You guys went on GloZelle. You were in Trolls, celebrity ambassador for the LA Zoo, a 10-year anniversary cinnamon. Tasha, HyperX spokesperson, feature panelist at DreamCon. Leish, master of ceremonies at Game in 2023, winner for BIPOC streamer. Kai, guest creator speaker at DreamHack, speaker on Twitch. And these are just a few of the accolades and the accomplishments and the things that's going on in your lives. I mean, so I can imagine, and listen, we're in 2023. And when I was going through your bios and, when you were talking about you were a bartender, okay? And the pandemic hit and then you had to get creative, okay? At the end of the day, when that happened, okay, I just want to think about that for a second, because 3 years later, and I don't know if you knew this crew, I don't know if you were friends with them, I don't know, what happened, Leish, but at the end of the day, to say I got to get creative, and then next thing you know, 3 years later, you're on a show. All right, traveling around with people who might have been your peeps before, might not have been. I don't know. I want to hear it. And now you're being celebrated throughout the country. So tell us a little bit, how that started. And then I would like to hear from the rest of you guys. Just piece it together for us, how you guys came together, right? Because this didn't happen overnight. I'm pretty sure none of you guys saw this. So we want to dive into that in terms of how it happened. Leish, kick us off.
So basically I was already streaming on Twitch for about just casually while I was still working in the bars, like the service industry or whatever. And so once I got laid off because of the pandemic, I used to work at Hartsfield Jackson International Airport. And so just going into the airport, the busiest airport in the world, and just seeing it just empty was like crazy. And I just knew, I'm like, oh, here we go. But it's cool because I worked for a job that had a union, and so they made sure that we were okay. And so I was able to start my career based on the fact that I had like a little bit of cushion. And so I was like, you know what? Let me try it, because if I don't try it and I go back to work, I'ma feel bad,
Mm-hmm.
So started streaming more, being more consistent, and then I started posting my content on TikTok. So I started posting more short form content. And from there, it kind of just blew up. Like TikTok, back then, the algorithm was crazy. Like you could post a video, and next thing you know, you got 1,000 followers. And then, it just kept going and going and going. And when I saw that I was making around the same amount of money that I was making at the bar, I was like, oh, okay. We might
This
have
ain't
to
that
go
bad.
full time. Right. Might have to go full time. And then after that, I made connections with people. Me and Tasha actually known each other for like a year before we did this, right? We were playing games for a minute, right? But my first time ever meeting her in person was on 5GRV.
Because you don't like to leave Atlanta.
I don't like to leave Atlanta for what? I mean, now I have no choice. I done been everywhere this year, it seems like. It's just crazy how life works, because this is something that I always pray for. The service industry can get a little bit soul-sucking. You go to work, it's the same thing over and over again. At least with this, I have variety. I don't get bored as easily. It's fulfilling. And, I get to spend time with other Black women in this space,
Mm-hmm.
something that I wanted when I was a child. And that's one of the main reasons why I do this, because I want to be what I needed as a child. So just being around other Black women in this space and sharing the same interests and being able to talk about like anime and gaming and, you know, nerd stuff and not feel no type of way. It was just great. And I got to meet GloZelle. Me and GloZelle friends. I got GloZelle phone number, you know? Like, who would have ever thought? But that's basically how I got my start. And I will say, being a part of the bartending service industry kind of prepared me for this. That's why I never really be like, oh, bartending sucks, because it helped me like be able to
Get that
talk
social
about
skills.
things on hours on end. Yeah, it helped build up my social skills. It helped my people, like just being in front of people, not being as nervous about talking in front of people. Because even though it's like we're online, it's still that, like, you know, you're still talking to people. So, you know, I just take all of the lessons that I've learned in my time as an adult, just apply it on here, and then now look at me. I'm on 5GRB, baby.
Exactly, 5GRB. So GloZelle, pick up from there, right? Because obviously, you know, you are in LA, Jay Leno, 600 times, which I mean, that I don't even know how many
Didn't
years
you get
that
banned?
is. And then now you're adding. Oh, she's looking.
I really want to know. Did you get banned?
Yes.
And now you're with this. And now you're with this gaming crew. Tell us how you got involved in all this.
My background is musical theater, and I'm so mad right now at Leish.
I'm sorry.
One thing, to fast forward to watching all the shows, you get to watch the best of the best, you know, perform from Prince to Beyonce, everybody perform, and you also see how they interview, and you'll be surprised at how great some performers are who are terrible at interviews, and some who are great at interviews and like, oh my goodness, that performance really wasn't good live. You know, so all of that helps you understand how people really work and how they function. And these great stars, they're great at different things. And it was another type of school, so to speak, for years. So I wanted to be there. So you saw all kinds of acts for years. I'm like, Jay Leno never missed a day. I'm like, I'm not gonna miss a day. And that's what happened. And I was trying to find out, well, what is it that I want to do? Because my background is musical theater. However, comics were the ones getting television shows. So I was like, let me do stand-up, because like here comes Ellen and Roseanne, Seinfeld, Ray Romano, everybody, Bernie Mac, everybody was getting shows that were stand-up, not coming from a theater background or how sitcoms were formed before. So with that, plus watching all the Tonight shows, I feel like, okay, when gaming came around, when the 5GRV came around, I was like, I can bring personality. I don't know how to play, but these wonderful young ladies have really helped me.
You're getting there. You're getting there.
Into the gaming. Just threw me into gaming. And I thought I was just going to be the Flavor Flav, you know, like, yeah, you got 5 points, you got 3 points, yeah, you know, but it's really been fun. I have a 7-year-old daughter, and she wants to get in gaming. So it's really great for her to see 5GRV. You know, she doesn't get to go, oh, I wonder if there's any, you know, one that looks like me that does this. No, she grows up thinking like, this is what we do.
Right. That is awesome. So I'm hearing a theme here. Tasha, let me ask you this. You love for cooking, okay? Culinary. Tell us, how did you, and I know you started, you know, playing gaming since you were in grade school, but how did you make this transition?
I'm gonna tell you a secret. My first choice in career was actually not culinary. I actually wanted to be a vet, like a veterinary technician. And I did veterinary assisting in high school for 3 years. And we ran a kennel full of dogs. There was like 150 dogs, some miniature horses, turkeys, chickens, like all types of animals that we would take care of and learn about veterinary assisting. And one day we had to give out shots to the dogs. Like we had to give every dog a specific shot. Don't remember what the shot was called. And I sat there with the scruff of the dog up and the needle in my hand, and I was sitting there like this, like
You couldn't do it.
I could not do it. And that's how I knew that I wasn't cut out for this. And then I would always love cooking and learning like from cooking shows. And I used to always want to have my own cooking show, like Gordon Ramsay, not where I call people idiot sandwiches, but just maybe a little bit of that. But I always wanted to have this cooking show. And I went to culinary school, and I realized how not fun cooking in a kitchen is. It's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually quite terrible.
I love that you went from, helping the animals to cooking the animals.
Yeah, not only cooking them. She didn't have a problem. She was worried about giving them a shot, but you didn't have a problem putting the knife into them and cutting them up.
She's not cooking regular pets. No, it's a different kind of species. Tasha, I got you back, girl. Don't worry about it.
What's crazy is when I started culinary school, I became a vegetarian. I did. I became a vegetarian when I started culinary school because I watched this documentary. I don't remember the name of it, but it was about how the animals that we eat are treated before they get to, us and what they inject in them and all that stuff. And I became a vegetarian for a year, but one day I got drunk and had a burger, but that's a different story.
I was like, we ate a whole lot of meat. What are you talking about?
But I had always been a gamer my whole life. I've always played video games since I was a wee lad, and I found people on the internet that had made gaming into their career. They're making money off of this, and I couldn't believe it. I absolutely couldn't believe it. And if you were to tell me like 10 years ago that I was going to be making money playing video games online, I wouldn't have never believed you.
However, Kai, let me ask you this. Just full transparency, you work at Rooster Teeth. I used to work at Warner Media, so that was my sister company. So I know them very well. So tell us a little bit in terms of, yes, you got your bachelor's degree in filming, but tell us, how did you get started, in the gaming industry?
Yeah, so like I said, I got my degree in TV and film, which is very much so not gaming. But it was really hard to get a creative job. I was working in operations, I was working in backgrounds, and people don't realize that just because you work in the entertainment industry doesn't mean you're doing entertainment creatively all the time. So I had my foot in the door, but I couldn't get to the room I wanted to be in. And it was just really upsetting to have gone full force into this entertainment industry, not seeing the output that I wanted for the input I was putting in. And then similar to Leish, the pandemic happened and we were working from home. I had moved back in with my parents because I was working in New York at TV1. And it was honestly, I'm a huge believer in everything happens for a reason and the world sends you signs in terms of what path to follow. And there were just a lot of signs that were leading me to start streaming on Twitch. People weren't hiring at the time. I had always watched people play video games, but I had never played it myself. Again, just from that background of, I'm a femme in a male dominated world. So I would watch my masculine presenting cousins play video games, but me as a femme wouldn't play them myself. So just a lot of different pieces fell together for me to say, well, why can't I stream on Twitch? I know how to work a camera because I can learn streaming, and push come to shove. My goal is not to be on camera. My goal is fully to be behind the camera, but I can learn streaming as a transferable skill for when I do go back into the TV and media entertainment industry. And then literally, I'll never forget, after my first stream, I played Mario Kart, which is a very easy Nintendo game. And my mom said, "You have the charisma to do this." And I never forgot that. And I always told her, I said, if this doesn't work out, I can return everything. Amazon 30-day returns. I just want to try it out. And I did. And literally not even a year later, I was just, active online, and people started to notice me and notice my personality. And I got picked up by Rooster Teeth to be an on-camera talent. And I started working there. And now 2 years later, I'm now a full-time producer producing these huge productions for a digital entertainment company. Again, not on linear television, but honestly, television has changed so much over the years. It's not linear anymore. It's all online. It's all digital. It's all streaming. So again, something I didn't know would exist now as it is set me up to do exactly what I'm doing right now.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And you know, one of the things, you're 100% right. There's no coincidences. I don't believe in luck, right? I believe things happen for a reason. I believe you, just hearing your stories here, and basically you were in something else, but you were preparing yourself without even knowing it for something bigger, right? For an opportunity. You know, Leish, you were talking about, hey, being in the a bartender helped me prepare myself in terms of dealing with people. You know, GloZelle, you talked about, hey, I watched all these different people come up and do these different type of acts, and all of a sudden it prepared me for something coming up that I didn't even think, that I don't even have experience in, but because I learned so much from watching all this, I can just come and be myself and be a personality and contribute. So all of you guys brought something different to the table. You were going through something, and then it finally just kind of came together. So my question is, how did 5GRV, the concept, how did it start? How did you guys get with Alpha, Precision Media? Somebody tell me, how did that all come together?
I wish Tammy was on here because she would be the number one person.
Right.
So who was the first one that was cast, so to speak? Because I did go through.
I think I was the first one casted onto 5GRV. I was reached out to by like a talent agency and did like a series of interviews with them, with a bunch of different girls. We did compatibility tests and things like that. It was really fun. Went through a lot of different girls that they were deciding on for the tour, and eventually it all ended up being us right here. I think me and GloZelle were the first ones on there.
Right. Yeah. Because I think I was there on your
because I remember seeing you, because I was like, oh my God, that's the lady that did the cinnamon challenge.
So let me ask you this though, in terms of the audition, I mean, and for the audience, and we'll dive into it. You ladies are on an RV. You're traveling and going. You're season 1. You're on an RV. You're traveling, going to 7 HBCUs, right? Being yourselves, doing gaming. So, and when you first got the idea of what the show was going to be, what was your thoughts? Getting on. I know you guys, some of you known each other a little bit before, but getting on, coming together, getting on an RV, traveling around with people. What was the thoughts behind that?
For me, it was, I thought,
ahead,
oh my
GloZelle.
goodness, this is going to be fun. However, the reality of like, we're going to be in a close space with people that I don't know in a field that I'm new to. And, they're like 20 years younger than me. So I was kind of like, how's this going to work? But it clickety click, really quick.
Kai, what did you think? What was your thoughts?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question again? I got distracted.
All of a sudden, that's fine. So all of a sudden, you're now going to be on this show. You're going to be with strangers on an RV, going to HBCUs. So when you found out that was the concept, what was your thoughts? Was there fear? Was there, like GloZelle said, hey, I'm going to be with people I don't know. It's going to be a close space. Did you have any, trepidation, anything that you were worried about? Or you were just, I'm down for whatever?
I think that's the beauty of this industry, though, the gaming industry, is that I wasn't going on tour with strangers. I knew who Tasha was. Leish hates when I say this, so I'm going to say it again. Leish was the first Black woman, really the first person on Twitch I watched, period. When I was trying to figure out what streaming looked like, I was watching Leish because she was playing one of my favorite games, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. So I was just chilling her chat. And honestly, when I started streaming, I used her panels, her setup, and copied a little bit of it to try to figure out what my voice was. So Leish was that template. Leish was for me. So it really wasn't. Girl, if you don't take this compliment, I swear to God. So it really wasn't a situation where, it's strangers, because it wasn't strange. Like I grew up watching GloZelle, and at the same time, there's comfort in knowing you're amongst other Black women, and let alone other nerdy Black women. Like there was no fear there. And in fact, the fact that I knew we were Black women in a space and we were utilizing our voices to uplift such important pieces of Black excellence and Black culture. Again, I didn't go to HBCUs, but my brother and sister did. I am part of the Divine Nine, Sigma Gamma Sorority Incorporated, which is one of the Black sororities, historically Black sororities. So anytime I can, and the thing about this is that these are historical pieces of culture. And it's not that they're not big, it's that they're not well known. They're not front and center. So anytime I can utilize my voice and which is on a decent enough platform to uplift these pieces of our culture, I'm going to do that. So I don't think there was any trepidations. I knew what my goal was. I knew who the people I was going in it with were. And at the end of the day, even if we didn't click, we all had our goal, and our goal was all the same. So it's easy to work with that. And then, but we did click, and now these are my sisters for life. So everything was great.
Yes.
That part.
And Leish, let me ask you this. So what was, based on that, what was your favorite, a favorite moment of season 1 of 5GRV?
I had so many. I think one of my favorites was when we went to Ben's Chili Bowl, most definitely. Speaking to Mom, she was just knowing that she's a part of history. Like, how you go from serving Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to Barack Obama in your lifespan, and many other, Black prominent people in America. Like, I cried. I think I cried during that episode because it was just, it felt it's almost like you could still feel the spirit of certain people in there. What else? Also, when we recorded oh, please.
Hell yeah.
No. We recorded.
Can you guys sing it right here? Can you guys go ahead and
Don't sing it.
No, because this song, it will get stuck in my head, and I got a stream later on tonight, and I do not want to sing it.
She gonna be saying, "Hell yeah!" all
I
night.
gotta work.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, it's so many moments that just brought us closer, and just figuring out like how everybody operates. I think I've touched on this before. Like, even though like we knew each other online, being in person is different, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't realize how cuddly Tasha she's really touchy-feely. I'm not that touchy-feely, but I made exceptions for Tasha because it's like, I'm like, okay, me and Tasha cool, whatever. At least I know her. I thought Kai was going to be shy. Kai is not shy. Kai is very assertive, and she is very like, like, this is what it is, okay? And
15%
I thought
of the time.
GloZelle was, and I thought GloZelle was gonna be crazy, and GloZelle was quiet at first. Then when she opened, and then when we got acquainted, then it was like, yeah. Then she got crazy, but at first she was really quiet. So that's the part that I liked about our journey. It's just discovering how everybody is,
Mm-hmm.
and just. I don't know. It's a different type of vibe, IRL. Like, I love the online space, but
Right.
I'm an in-person person. So,
and that's awesome. Look, at the end of the day, you guys were able to come together. I want to ask you this, and I'll position this question to Tasha. Did you have an idea of the significance in terms of having 4 strong Black women in the gaming industry that's not a lot of representation, and being able to be, a pioneer that actually kind of took off? Did you recognize the significance, what you guys were doing?
From the beginning, when they first told me about this tour, I recognized the significance of this because, yeah, we are underrepresented. We are underviewed on the platform. There's not a lot of Black women that you see as the top 50, even the top 100 creators on the platform. So as soon as I heard about this, I thought that this was amazing. This is what we need, something that shows our personality and brings us together and can bring people to have fun with us. I immediately saw the significance. I want everybody else to see it.
Kai, what impact, what did you see from the people that you were, engaging with, the women, the Black women. What did you see for them? What was their reaction in terms of seeing you guys together?
And I'm going to speak on it personally because my sister went to one of the schools we visited. So we got to hang out with her and her friends. And even just the simple definition of what gaming is changed in their minds. Because a lot of people think that gaming is, oh, you have to be playing one of these big 4 games, the AAA games. And in reality, gaming is anything possible. It could be playing a mobile game on your phone. It can be playing an indie game on your computer on a console. The term gaming, board gaming, puzzle gaming, it's just so mass and it's not exclusive at all. So even just seeing the sprinkle in their eyes of them saying for the first time, I'm a gamer, meant even right now I'm getting chills thinking about it. Like just seeing people that didn't realize they were gamers say, I'm a gamer, and realize that there are more people that look like us that are willing to take up this space because there's so much of it. That was just, that impact to me just hit me right here in my heart.
Wow. And so being able to see and experience that and give people, what do you think GloZelle, let me position this to you. What do you think after you engage with everyone, what do you think you left those individuals?
We left those individuals with high hopes and inspiration. Like I can do it also. Like I can help this trail that's been blazed by us and continue, because I think in the future I'm like, are we gonna be on the RV 10 20 years from now? I hope so, but with others now we
better
there's
be.
several
I know,
ranges,
right?
there's several RVs. So yes, everybody wants to, like, hey, that's cool, let's join. So now we're gonna grow, and I hope that, and I know that all 4 of us, we appreciate this time because it's gonna change. It's gonna be a time like, oh, I can't make this one. I'll go that one. Oh, we added 4 more people. So it's gonna morph and change and grow, because I starting on YouTube. It started one way. It's completely different now. So I mean, I'm enjoying this, and I know that it's gonna change and it's gonna be great. But we were in the beginning, and it's nice that we're inspiring other people that's gonna do what we're doing.
And that's what this is all about, right? The inspiration that you guys are providing, let's be clear here. I'm inspired. Okay. Just to be clear, I'm inspired because I always love the story. And this is what people need to hear and listen, because a lot of times people think they're stuck in no matter what endeavor they are, relationship, whatever the case may be. And you guys are a prime example of that. You're never stuck if you have the right attitude. You're open to opportunity and you're open to change, right? Because at the end of the day, what I'm so inspired about this story is that you guys have talents in you that you were born with that 9 times out of 10 you wouldn't have known about until you were able to expand outside of what people said you should do, or you're a girl, you should only do this, and this and that, or I live in this neighborhood, now I'm supposed to do this. And you were able to step out of that bucket and then engage in a talent that you didn't even know you had, which is going to take you to wherever you want to go, right? And I go back to you, Kai, where you say, hey, I want to be behind the screen. These are the opportunities that open that door. So this is very inspirational. Now, let me ask you this, Tasha, I'll put this to you. Yes, we're all singing Kumbaya. Everybody loved it. You inspired a lot of people. Did you receive any pushback? How did the male figures, in terms of that saw your show and you guys engaged, what was their initial thoughts? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the male figure is like our figure, so it's
Oh my God, GloZelle.
Y'all can cut that out.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I want nobody objectifying me.
Oh my gosh.
So what's your thoughts? Did you guys get pushback at all? Did everybody have their arms open up wide, or was people a little standoffish in the beginning?
I don't think from what I saw that people were standoffish. I feel like for the most part, the people in our space were very open and accepting of what we were doing, and also trying to help push forward the viewership and everything in what we were doing. I don't think we got a lot of pushback, and probably because we don't associate with losers like that.
That part.
I love it.
If they were hating,
Amen.
I didn't see it because they don't exist to me.
That part. I would say I think the only big challenge on the tour was just, again, trying to communicate the difference between what is normal, which is linear television, and what is streaming on Twitch. Because a lot of times, you have this idea for a script, or you have this idea for a story, and there are so many amazing producers and teams working with us. And I think that's what Tasha was saying by there was no pushback, is that once we came on board, we were told the ideas, and they were really flexible with working with us and figuring out what worked for our personalities, what worked for the platform. And it's almost like we were consulted as well, and our intelligence was used about the medium that we know. So that way we could make the best content possible on the best on the current platform we were using. So I don't even want to say it was pushback, because that's not at all what it was. But it's always a challenge when there's something new to be discovered, and you have to try to explain it to people that maybe don't fully understand. But at the same time, that's not an issue, because everyone wants to learn, and that's all we really want. That's all you really can ask for.
Leish, piggybacking on that. So how do you guys take it to the next level? Okay. You came in, you're starting to, cracking the glass ceiling, you're making a difference. People are excited. Back to Latasha's point, now they're like, wow, I didn't know anything about gaming, but now I can do this. You're opening people's eyes. How do you guys take it to the next level?
We skydive.
Oh man.
We skydive.
Lie again.
On stream.
Lie again.
She's gonna be doing that by herself.
Lie again.
I think we take it to the next level as a collective by just continuing to use our voices to uplift each other and uplift the project. I feel like, I think, who was it who mentioned an Emmy? Was it Tammy? It was like, we want an Emmy. I was like, girl, if you could give me an Emmy, I'll be my mom's favorite child.
Right?
Listen, I'll be the favorite child forever. I was the wild one. But yeah, that's one way we could just, keep pushing the narrative. Like, you need to be on board 5GRV. Like, don't wait until we made it to want to hop on board, because we're going to remember, unless you're throwing some money our way. Then it's like, okay, we can make exceptions. Okay. Right. But individually, I just feel like we just keep doing what we're doing. Like, we're rock stars in this space. Like, I didn't realize how I don't want to say popping, but how popping I was. I don't want to say it, but I said it.
Say it.
When I go to these conventions, and people know who I am, and they're like, "Can I take a picture?" I'm like, "With me? You talking to me? Who's that? You sure?" I don't know. Hearing "Oh, you make my day better," being the best part of somebody's day, a stranger, being an inspiration to somebody is, it's weird sometimes, but it's also feeling my heart is so full. And I feel like all of us kind of feel the same way. So that's how we take it to the next level. Continue doing what we're doing, being rock stars, and, uplifting 5GRV, speaking about it whenever we can, posting about it whenever we can. We're going to be at the Esports Awards, so that's going to be fun. We're going to be dressed to impress.
I love it. And you just went there. You just went to where I want to go, right? So you guys are going to be at the Esports Awards in Vegas, right? So tell us a little bit, and you know what? I'll start with GloZelle. Tell us a little bit what you're looking forward to while you're in Vegas.
A husband. Because you can take one of those nerds that make all that money playing games, and you can dress them any kind of way. So that part is okay. So was I not supposed to say that?
No. Listen, at the end of the day, this is what you want. That's totally fine. You want a husband. That's great.
I'm just saying.
I thought you wanted a cowboy.
But I was like, can he have a cowboy hat on, just have some, say, yippee, yeah. But what I'm looking forward to is now we're all going to be on the red carpet together. I don't think we've done that, right? Not together. So, and that's going to be flex. Amazing.
Right, together, we have never been on the red carpet.
Been on the red carpet. You've been on the red carpet.
I ain't coming back with a cowboy hat. There go your cowboy right there.
Yes, I'm my Beyonce cowboy hat with the.
See Double A. See Double A. He works on demand here. All right, so he put the cowboy hat on as soon as he heard it, and he's lining up to be the husband too. He'll chat with you after. All right.
That part. So we're gonna have an amazing time. We're fun people. I'm looking forward to the red carpet in this environment. I've done red carpets. So I mean, the Trolls premiere is coming out. So I just want to know about gaming. Red carpet's gonna be fun, and I won't be by myself because I'm gonna be with my family here who understands gaming and fun while I'm looking also side-eyeing for a husband, in a cowboy hat.
Well, think about this for a second. The esports award in Vegas, is like the Super Bowl. Okay. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, 3 years ago, you guys were in other spaces doing other stuff, right? 3 years later, you're going to the Super Bowl of your craft. Tasha, how does that make you feel?
I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary. It's a little terrifying, I'm a little nervous or whatever.
Why are you nervous? Now, why is it a little scary?
It's new things for me are always a little nerve-wracking. When I don't know what to expect, I do get a little nervous. But I am less nervous because I have all of them with me, and that brings me immense amounts of comfort. But I am excited to be on the red carpet. I've never ever done that. If you would have, I never even thought of doing that before, like being on the red carpet, like as if I'm somebody important.
You are, yes.
You are important, right?
You are.
Leish, how does that make you feel?
Honestly, I'm just ready to dress up. I like to dress.
She do.
I like to dress. I'm already got I gotta send an email to the people who they're supposed to be dressing us. So I already got the email that I'm about to send. I got my vision board.
You made a vision
I'm about to send that out tomorrow. I surely
awesome.
did.
I love
I'm very
that.
particular.
Pinterest.
That's awesome.
Listen. But yeah, I'm just excited. I'm just excited to go on this trip. Period. Like just to be around. I love being around them.
Yes.
Now, at the end of the trip, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be like, all right, it's time to go home. Because let me tell you something. Can I tell you something about Tasha?
Yeah, you can tell me.
Tasha, she likes to go out and be out till 4:00 in the morning. And see, that's not my jam anymore. I'm in my 30s, I got a bedtime now. You a young 30. You just turned 30. Okay, 30. I'm a mid 30. Okay. I go to bed now. But she like to be out at 4:00 in the morning, and then we be having call time at 9. And I'm just like, no, I can't.
We can sleep. You'll sleep when you're dead, Leish.
Listen. So let me pose this to Kai too. I want to hear your thoughts. How do you feel about going to the Super Bowl of your industry, Kai?
To be fully vulnerable, and I know I'm going to get a lot of flack from the people down below, but I don't think I care. I don't think I belong there. It's really, already the faces. It's really weird. It'd be a lie to say imposter syndrome doesn't exist. It would be a lie to say that I feel like there's not other people that I'm mutuals with that I feel like deserve this more. But at the same time, I'm going to write down everything I've ever done, not even just let alone this year. And I'm going to just enjoy being with my sisters. Like I love getting dressed up. I enjoy meeting new people. I love award shows. And it's so funny. I remember when I was in school, my mom promised me that the first time I walked the red carpet, she would be my date. So I can't keep that promise, but I'll FaceTime her in there for sure. So at least I could keep a little bit of it.
Well, listen, number one, all of you guys, thanks for sharing. But Kai, I just want to back up a little bit. I appreciate you being vulnerable here, okay? Because, and there's one of the reasons why I asked the question. This, you guys' success, and you guys all said it here on the podcast. You didn't see this, okay? You didn't see it. You did everything, and then all of a sudden, boom, and you deserve everything because nobody gave it to you. It was hard work. You took a risk. You didn't play it safe. All those things. So sometimes when we do finally get to the pinnacle, we do, basically get to that success. That's, sometimes we do feel that way. Sometimes we feel like, do I really deserve this? Did I really do enough to be here? And let me tell you flat out, yes. Okay. Yes. There's nothing wrong with feeling that way, but also at the same time, you deserve it and enjoy it because it's the stepping stone of life. And just being here with you guys, like I said, I'm very inspired because this is what I believe in. You guys see on my screen is TonyTidbit, right? Well, that name is not, I didn't come up with that name. That name, I send out a motivational, inspirational quote on a daily basis called Tony's Tidbits. So I believe in the things that you guys are doing, and I believe in the things that people can do, because you have the ability to change your life if you want to, based on your attitude, your work ethic, and then more importantly, your determination. And you guys have done this today. You have shared this dream, this journey that you guys are on, and every accolade, every success that you guys are getting is great. But here's the kicker. You guys are inspiring Black women throughout the country to be able to be open to do something that they never thought they could do. Yes, you're going to the esports awards. Yes, you have a bunch of accolades in terms of, best platform, this, and that. But that situation in terms of inspiring other Black women and inspiring other Black kids to be able to that's in a space that's underrepresented, and they can now see themselves being you, that is for life. That is for life. That will never go away. Okay? And because 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you're going to run into somebody and they're going to remember you guys. And then more importantly, they're going to say, this is what I'm doing because I saw you do it. Okay. So that's what this is about. I'm so excited that you guys were able to join a Black Executive Perspective podcast. I got one final question for each of you. Okay. And I'm going to start with GloZelle. GloZelle, what do you want to leave the audience today about 5GRV? What do you want them to know? What do you want them to leave them?
What I want to leave with the audience about 5GRV is that we can do it. You can do it. Whatever that song, that novel, that job that you need to start or quit, that relationship that you want to reach out for or end, you do it. Time is short, and you can get it done. We did it. You did it. This was somebody's dream. And it wasn't ours because we didn't know, and we're part of it. So do it, step out and on faith. And I'm proud of you already. Congratulations.
Awesome. Leish.
What would I like to leave? Just basically, I guess mine would be more geared to Black women, like what you were saying, Tony, like, you can do this. Like, I remember starting out, I used to be like, well, ain't nobody gonna watch me. I'm a Black woman. There's nothing but like white men in this space. But don't let them like shake you. Somebody has to step into the room and shake it up and, and let them know that we're here. I'm tired of the stigma that we don't play games, that, that we're not nerds. Like, we're out here and we're a testament to that. So I guess that's what I would leave to, like, especially younger Black women. Like, don't let this shake you. Don't let this industry get to you. Do what you need to do, get what you need to get, and you got it. Like, you're good. And if you don't, like, reach out to us. We got you. Sure.
Awesome. Tasha.
I would like to leave that. Don't forget to follow Go5GRV on twitch.tv/Go5GRV and tune in on November 28th to December 1st to see us take on Las Vegas.
You should have went last. What?
I love it. I love it. Guy, what do you want to leave with him?
What's left? Go Black woman. Woo! Yeah, no, that's not it.
And listen, that is as simple as it gets. Go Black women. Well, listen, I'm going to say that to you. Go 5GRV. Okay. Kai, GloZelle, Leish, Tasha, it's been a pleasure to meet you guys. I wish you nothing. Continue massive success. I wish that you continue to touch hearts and inspire people. And more importantly, I wish God continues to bless you individually, whatever you're looking for. So thank you for coming to a Black Executive Perspective. Loved your spirit, your energy, your intellect, and so much fun. And guess what? I'm going to look forward to seeing you guys in Vegas in a few weeks.
Thank
you.
you.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of a Black Executive Perspective podcast. You were able to see 4 beautiful Black women who came together, who overcame a lot of different strife and struggles and challenges, and was able to jump into opportunities because they're willing to change, and they had a great attitude, and they came together and they were able to upend the gaming industry. That is fantastic. And the lessons that we should take out of this is, number one, everyone has a talent. I don't care who you are, I don't care where you live at, you have a talent. You may be working somewhere right now, and that's not your talent. You have something that you're great at, that is passion. You just haven't tapped into it. So it's important to be open to change. Number two, what you're doing now could be setting you up for something bigger. So perfect it. Be the best at it. I don't care if you're sweeping floors. Be the best person sweeping floors. Because as Leish said, she was a bartender. And because she was a bartender and she learned how to deal with the public, it helped her for the next episode. And then number three, finally, don't let people put you in a box. Okay? I don't care what you look like. I don't care what music you like. I don't care where you're from. I don't care where your family background. You can do whatever you want to do. Stretch out and look at other opportunities. Just because I don't see any Black people doing it, or I don't see this, it's not for me. That is not true. You have the ability to jump into any industry, any opportunity. You just got to be open to it. So that now leaves us to what?
Tony Tidbits.
It's time for Tony's Tidbit. And the tidbit for today, based on our fabulous guest, life is like a game. You can play it safe and be good, or you can take a chance and be great. And the ladies from 5GRV, they epitomize that. So again, I hope you enjoyed our episode, Black Female Influencers in the Gaming Space, doing it with 5GRV. Tune in next week. We're going to have another great episode. Please go to our website, sign up for updates. We're going to be updating. We're going to be launching our monthly newsletter. Leave us a review. Subscribe if you haven't, wherever you get your podcast. Let us know. How did you like the ladies here? Were you inspired? Did you have questions? Let us know. Give us that feedback and continue to follow us on all your social platforms from LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at TonyTidbit BEP. For the fabulous ladies of 5GRV, for my executive producer, Double A, I'm Tony Tidbit. We talked about it, and we're out.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Tony Tidbit, a Black executive perspective, and for joining in today's conversation. With every story we share, every conversation we foster, and every barrier we address, we can ignite the sparks that bring about lasting change. And this carries us one step closer to transforming the face of corporate America. If today's episode resonated with you, consider subscribing and leaving us a rating or review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Share this episode with your circle, and with your support, we can reach more people and tell more stories.